Day 4 of the Invictus Games 2023 continues here at the Merkur Arena in Dusseldorf. Wheelchair basketball reaches the semi-final stages here in Germany. Indoor rowing finished up with some dramatic last races, and table tennis makes its introduction at these Invictus Games. A decisive day in wheelchair basketball, with only the top two teams in the groups progressing to the semi-finals. For Australia in yellow, it was a last chance against the United Kingdom. They desperately needed a victory to go through and keep themselves in the hunt for a medal. It didn't start well for them, David Argyle scoring the first points for Team UK, who raced into a 4-point lead. With a well-aimed throw, Javier Green kept the side from down under in contention. The match was in the balance until the final third, when the United Kingdom pulled clear. Matt Trigg had a clear shot under the basket to stretch their lead to 13-5. It was the turning point in the game, Australia suffering a 13-7 defeat to put them out of the competition. Team UK remained in medal contention as at The Hague a year ago when they took third place. Team Unconquered 2 had a difficult time on the first day of competition and were without a victory so far. Georgia in red, their next opponents, and keen to reach the semi-finals themselves. They had to win and hope for some help from New Zealand against France. It was a one-sided affair. Georgia made light work of their challenge. Team Unconquered 2 was struggling to make an impact. Georgia seized on every mistake. Ahmed Savarov here with the fast break to make it 14-1. The outcome was known long before the finish. Georgia in full control. There were celebrations on the bench though when Team Unconquered 2 scored late consolation points. Georgia winning 36 points to 5. Excitement in the stands and tension on the court. New Zealand in the black jerseys took on France. The French made the better start, Frederic here making it 6 points to 0. And New Zealand was still without a point by the end of the first period. Not much changed either, France pulling away to give New Zealand little chance. The French eased off and their opponents did take advantage to score the last points. A comfortable 18-4 victory for France. In Group B, Ukraine met Australia. The Ukrainians still with hopes of reaching the semi-finals. Both were relying on the United Kingdom losing to Canada. Australia struck first through Green. There was a standing ovation for Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan as they took their seats in the stands. And they saw a tense climax with the teams level in the final third. Semen Lahoun scored the decisive points for the team from Ukraine though to seal a narrow 8-6 victory. However, that win was academic after the United Kingdom beat Canada. The semi-finalists were now known. From Group A, the defending champions the USA and France, and from Group B, Team Unconquered 1 and the United Kingdom.
My name is Dmitro Polovyan. I'm from Ukraine. I reintroduce Team Ukraine. The sports what I reintroduce, it's arching, swimming and wheelchair basketball. First time when I hear about Invictus Games, I just, it's not for me, because I just returned from a battlefield and I don't think about anything, just for rehabilitation, how to return to my own legs and start walking again and return in the battlefield again. Things change when I hear about Invictus Game in the second time. From other men in other hospital, he not say like you must try it or something like that. You just say you must do it, and it's not a choice. You just do it, and that's all. My story is, for some people, it's like horror story. For other people, it's a sad story. For me, it's just a part of my life. When the war was happened, I don't think that I must sit at home, I must hide or something like that. I think that my friends in the battle, I must join to them. And then I just go to the army, start training, going to the first battle, and then in the second battle I was wounded. I have many wounds, one in the chest, one in the stomach, one in the legs, in the back, and I stay in the battlefield after wounded. And in the second day, Russian occupation army take me in the prison. And 3 months I was being in prison in Crimea, and after 3 months will change in our soldiers. And then I come back to home. Almost come back to home. I never surrender, I never accept surrender, and I never retreat. I follow this most of all in prison. When I was in prison, I just always repeat these words to me, and it's helped to hold. Of course, when I come back, I have the list of friends and brothers in arms who I will recommend to join to the Invictus Games and try it, because it's important for them.
The Merkostspiel Arena was converted into a giant gymnasium for the indoor rowing competition at the Invictus Games. After the endurance events came the sprint events, where competitors go all out for 60 seconds to record the furthest distance on a standard rowing ergometer.
Here we go, 60 more full seconds of lactic acid building up.
After the endurance events came the sprint events, where competitors go all out for 60 seconds to record the furthest distance on a standard rowing machine. The margins of victory are often minute, and the fatigue is total.
You can make the difference between
Just ask Air Force Staff Sergeant Gregory Walker, who won gold in the men's IR5 category by just 2 metres. There was further American gold in the IR4 category, with Jason Smith taking the victory over Nazar Vozniuk of Ukraine. In the women's IR6 category, which is for competitors with psychological injuries such as anxiety, depression or PTSD, Team UK's Stacey Denyer set the target for the rest of the field to follow by winning her heat. But Australia's Brooke Mead and Erin Bridgen were about to race, with Bridgen having already won the endurance event over 4 minutes. And Bridgen in the end did it again to take gold from Mead, with Denyer and Laura Raynal sharing the bronze. In the men's equivalent category, the top 4 competitors were split across multiple heats. Early leaders such as Thomas Roots of Estonia and Vitaly Borodavka of Ukraine were reeled in by the Netherlands' Bram Hanstede. But that trio was then caught by Poland's Przemysław Kowalski. who posted the furthest distance of 382 metres, winning gold by just 1 metre from Maxim Dimtrash of Ukraine, with Hanstede holding on for bronze.
Maxim Dimtrash.
Representing the United Kingdom, Chris Anslow. From the dead is a miracle, doc. They counted me out. Moment of truth, counting it down. Underdog story was down for the count. Back on my feet, back with a mic, back on the beat, back with a family that bang in the streets. The game on lock.
I feel honored. I feel great to be among the pioneers. The first African country to represent in Germany. I feel on the Invictus Games, and I feel very, very happy. I'm excited to be the team captain of Team Nigeria. It's not easy, but I feel honored. I'm very, very happy.
It's exciting. It's an experience for us, and we are elated as a nation that we are part of these games, and I'm part of a community, and it's something you can't purchase, you can't buy. And an experience is more than the medals, the love, the food, meeting different people, different nations, different languages. It's an experience. It's an experience. Feedback from the boys, they are excited that they could meet people like them, and the love for them is massive, and they're enjoying every bit of it. For me, and it's a clarion call to other nations in Africa, that this is something that we would want them to be part of. I'm the first team manager in Africa. I pride myself with that title. And it's a clarion call that Africa needs to join this community.
It's really exciting for us, for all of us. It's the first time for Colombia, the first Latin American country participating in the Invictus Games. We're really proud to be here. We prepare ourselves for that. They were training many times or preparing for this competition. But it's not only about competing. We like to share with other countries. So that's the most important part. Sharing with others, sharing experiences, and doing our best.
For Colombia to be here for the first time is very important, because it's a good opportunity that people around the world know what the soldiers in Colombia are doing all the time. We have internal conflict, and we have many soldiers who was injured during the service, and this is very important because people know what happened in Colombia right now.
It's the first time we come here. It's the first international race we do, all of us. And you meet a lot of people, a lot of injuries. It's very interesting. To be part of the Invictus is unique, it's huge, it's amazing things going on here. I would recommend to all of the countries to join the Invictus.
In the wheelchair basketball, it was semi-final time with the USA facing Team UK, who were flying high, having beaten Australia and Canada to secure their place in the knockouts. The USA, however, are the defending champions, and straight from the tip-off, their cohesion was clear to see. Their wheelchair rugby captain Kevin Green opening the scoring. Team UK's first points came not long after, courtesy of this one-handed shot under pressure from Matt Trigg. But the Americans were showing they had a crucial extra ingredient: garlic. Brent Garlick. This basket, one of 6 he scored in the first period, for an individual first half haul of 10 points. It wasn't just garlic, however. How about this from Kayla Saska? In the second period, the USA kept on taking their chances, while Team UK weren't taking enough of theirs. And the Americans soon saw the victory home, 29-10, to earn their place in the final.
Give those guys a standing ovation.
Time for the fans to shine and sing. Before the second semi-final, France against Team Unconquered, who've been one of the revelations of the competition so far. could they go one better and make the final? They certainly weren't short of support, and in a tight first period, quality was at a premium, and France's Jean-Pierre was on top quality form. Towards the end of the first period, France started to open up a gap, putting them in control at the halfway mark, 13-6. The speed of their counter-attack was just as effective in the second period, with Bryce finishing off this move, started by Jean-Charles in his own back court. And soon after that, it was all over. France the winners over Team Unconquered by 27 points to 12. Reasons aplenty to celebrate for the French and for their opponents. Beaten, yes, but always unconquered.
My name is Bob Baudry from Team Canada. My injuries are PTSD. I have injuries in both my feet, my right hip, my left knee, and my lower back. And I will be participating in 3 sports: wheelchair rugby, swimming, and archery. Invictus Games are special to me because as a result of my service-related injuries, I was no longer able to serve in the military. And so I lost my identity. Being able to represent my country, that alone is enough to make me stand up. And now I get to not only motivate myself, but motivate and lead others through my own injuries. A lot of times we get injured and we think this is it, this is as good as it gets. But no, it can get a lot better. You just keep pushing forward, it can get a lot better. Never give up, keep pushing forward. My biggest motivation is my family. 1 year after a Remembrance Day ceremony, my daughter said to me, "Dad, I think I'm going to join the military." And I was very surprised by that. And I said, "You've never mentioned this to me before. Why? Why now?" And she said, "You inspire me, Dad." When she said that, it really gets you here, right? And no matter what, like I thought when you get injured, I failed as a soldier, I failed as a father, I failed as a husband. But when you hear words like that, I don't feel like a failure. I don't feel like a failure at all. And I'm honored to have children like that. And they see a lot more than I think they see. And with them in my corner, I believe I can do just about anything. I know that every one of us have our own individual journey, but we all have a common bond. 1, we all served, some still serving. 2, we've all been injured. And that with that common bond, we can share stories, we can support each other. With sometimes when I see a fellow teammate that I can pick up on when they're not doing well, and I'll go up to them and ask them, "Are you doing okay? Do you need to talk?" And people have done that to me as well. And I'm okay with them supporting me, and they're okay with me supporting them, because that's what we do. I want to show people that no matter how bad things can be, there is always another side. And if you keep pushing forward, leaning into it, you will get through the other side. If you just get through that, keep pushing forward, not a day at a time, not a minute at a time, 1 second at a time, and whatever that takes you to, you too can eventually maybe participate in the Invictus Games.
Table tennis is making its debut as a sport at these Invictus Games and has attracted plenty of entrants. To lift the title here in Dusseldorf, doubles pairs need to win 7 matches in a row. No easy task, especially when all matches take place in one day. By the time Israel's Yagur Cesari and Menashe Zorik faced Germany's Thorsten Kardel and Christian Munster in the semi-finals, both pairs had already played 5 matches, whose winning streak would continue. At 1 game each and at 5-all in the deciding game, the Germans went 2 points clear. But Cesari and Zorik turned up the aggression and forced their way back into the game, earning a match point at 10-9. And the Germans, this time, were out of answers, ending their title chances. Instead of gold, they'd play for bronze against Denmark and their pairing of Mike Holmberg and Kenneth Hiltolf. The Danes had lost to Israeli opposition themselves in the semi-final. In the first game of the bronze medal match, Germany put their disappointment behind them and worked hard to create a 4-point lead, which they converted to win the first game. In the second game, the pattern repeated. A tight first 10 points, then Germany went 4 points ahead. But this time, it brought up match point. A big roar to mark a bronze medal for Thorsten Kardel and Christian Munster. Then it was the gold medal match. 1 flag, 2 teams, 4 unbeaten players. On the left, a Yagur Cesari and Menashe Zorik, and on the right, a Boas Arad and Yagil Lagzil. Cesari and Zorik settled much quicker into the final and took a commanding lead, and then the first game. They were all businesslike, in appearances at least. In the second game, the eagerness of Arad and Lagzil to get back into the contest played into their opponent's hand. And it wasn't long before match point came to pass. Yagur Cesari and Menashe Zorik winning in straight games to take the title for Israel. A new nation at these Invictus Games, winning in a new sport. And before we leave you, a gesture from Team UK during the indoor rowing. One of the races showed us the spirit of what these games are all about.
Right in front of you. to bring you up to speed. We have, let's go, 10 seconds.